Well, hey everyone, this show is brought to you today by Rice Studio Supplies. Check them out at ricestudioSupplies.com.
On today's show, 3 things to make your phone ring in the dreaded first quarter. And we also have a Dominant Web moment from our buddy Keith Krantz, owner of Dominant Web Media.
And I just got back from PP of A in Phoenix, and I had the opportunity to interview Angela Carson. And then one question from our viewers.
That's right. Welcome to Photo Entrepreneur TV, the place where serious photographic entrepreneurs learn to profit from their passion.
Well, how about them Hawks?
Go Seahawks!
Go Seahawks. All right.
You know, the funny thing about the last show is we filmed that about a week or two before that big NFC Championship game. So we were kind of going out on a limb. We were a little confident, but a great game.
As confident as Richard Sherman.
As confident as Richard Sherman, if I might add, who we love that guy around here. So anyway, welcome to the show today, everybody. And we're kind of excited because this is where we really get to share with you some real world stuff that's actually going on right now today. We're filming this in January, the dreaded first quarter, right? Where every studio shuts down until March. And you know who you are because I get autoresponders from photographers when we send out the promotional emails saying, I won't be in the studio till March 1st, so don't contact me, please. There is a lot of business to be had in the first quarter, and we generate quite a bit of revenue during these cold winter months. So we're very excited to share with you the 3 things that you can do right now today to get that phone to ring.
So let's start off with, good example today. And I think the first one that I want to talk about is just kind of being a lot more proactive and showing up. And I can't remember what quote that was. 80% of success is showing up.
Yeah, 80% of success is just showing up, which is so true. And you got a great example of that today.
Just got back from my BNI group this morning, and I showed one of my images, and that's one thing that I do hopefully every week. At least I try to bring an image, talk about the image. This time I talked about these 3 little kids fishing in kind of a Norman Rockwell kind of style, in which I'm trying to do a lot more of. And the realtor in our group next to me, before the meeting was over, she goes, "Could you please email that to me? Because I have a client that I just sold a house on a lake. They have oodles of money and lots of grandkids, and I could see them doing that with their own grandkids. So if you could just send that to me." So first thing, when I got back, Josh, where's that image? He finds it for me, and I email it. So, I think a lot of us that are involved in maybe service groups like Rotary or Kiwanis or Chamber of Commerce or networking groups, we complain because we don't get a lot of business from that. But especially in this first quarter, you have lots of time to go to those meetings and be seen and heard. And it just kind of stirs up business a little bit.
It does. And you had another great example a couple of years ago, January like it was, or like it is today. My dad went and did a presentation for Rotary Club, just a 30-minute 7 steps to better photography. And this doesn't always happen, but 5 or 6 people come up afterwards and want a business card. Oh, I got a high school senior. Oh, I just got married. We end up picking up business from doing that, just being in the community, being the expert. And one of the gentlemen there, he's a financial planner, comes up to my dad. He goes, "Oh my God, it's my anniversary. I don't have anything for my wife yet. She's pregnant. That baby plan thing sounds cool. How much is it?" Well, we told him how much it was. It's a couple $1,000s. And he goes, "Okay, cool. I'll come by the studio." And we printed off a gift certificate, and he gave us his Amex, and that was a good day at the office for us here at Hudson. So that's just one example of you, but you got to get out there. So that's great. That's number 1. Number 2 is follow up. Okay. For me,
he's the king.
Yes,
he's the
king.
Of
I am the king. I am the Richard Sherman of follow up in this photography industry, and I'll stand behind that too. So what I do, go Hawks. What I do in January is I go through all of my prospects. I have a binder. It's a follow up binder. That whole year, if I talk to somebody at a networking event, or I get a business card, or it's a client that mentions they want to get a new family portrait in the springtime, all that stuff, I keep track. And then in January, I go through that follow-up binder and I send letters, I send emails.
Well, especially the auctions.
Especially auctions. Believe it or not, we have a 90% retention rate on our auctions, and we do about 60 to 70 auctions a year, charity auctions. So figure 90% of the people who buy our certificate come in for an actual session, and most auction people either meet or exceed our family portrait average. It's a huge revenue generator for us, but the trick is you have to follow up. So when we do the auctions, I say I want to know how much it goes for, and I want to know who bought it. I want name, address, phone number, email. And if the auction people will not provide that to me, I will not do their auction. And our certificates that we do end up pulling a lot of money for these auctions, so they definitely play ball with us. So I start sending letters to these people saying, hey, your gift certificate expires in 6 months. Let's get you in for a consultation. It's a great way to try to keep that momentum going from the fourth quarter where you made a bunch of money. I want to continue that into the first quarter. And it's amazing how many sessions and consultations we book and get deposits during the month of January, February, March. So that's number 2. And then what is number 3, Dad?
So number 3 is we put a lot of emphasis on commercial photography this time of year because it's, the weather's not the best. And so as far as outdoor family portraits and senior portraits, we're not doing a lot of, but a lot of the people that we have talked to about doing commercial photography, it seems like their budgets start loosening up the first part of the year. So once again, Josh makes that follow-up, but we just put a lot more emphasis on that. And one thing that we're doing right now is putting together a brand new commercial brochure that we'll be sending out here, hopefully in a couple weeks, to prospective clients. Where do we get that list? Well, they come from Chamber of Commerce, other businesses that we work with. So that's kind of the 3 things that we tend to work on in the first quarter, and there's more, but so
yeah. Well, I do have to give just one example.
Okay.
So like this commercial client we have, it's a bank, and January, first of the year, most of these banks, financial institutions, all that kind of stuff, they do their annual board meetings. Sort of review the year before, set the tone for the new year. Their board members are in town. I mean, how many shoots have we done already just the first few weeks of January of board of directors of some of our commercial clients? So it's up to us to follow up and saying, hey, are you guys doing your annual board meeting? Are there new board members? Do we need to update headshots? Do we need to do new portraits? Like this bank, they get a 24 by 30 wall portrait every 3-4 years of the board that they put up proudly in the bank.
It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. It's a great sale. They buy a frame too. They buy a bunch of other smaller stuff. It's a great sale.
I hate that.
Yeah, that's always the first week of January for us. But it's up to us to follow up. So, so those are your 3 things. Hope you enjoyed that. Coming up next, we have a dominant web moment from our buddy Keith Krantz. He's going to talk about Facebook and the power of contests. Take it away, Keith.
All right, in this segment, we're going to talk about how you can create a contest to get a ton more Facebook fans, subscribers, and hopefully customers or clients. Now, a contest is right now one of the best ways on the internet to really build lots of raving fans and, more importantly, turn them into subscribers, which you can turn into customers. Okay, we're using a really cool tool called Contest Domination. If you want to find out more about it and see some demos about it, just go to FB Checklist, F like Facebook, fbchecklist.com/contest. Okay, you can go check out Contest Domination. Now, this is amazing. I mean, you can do something really cool. You can do a contest like who can submit certain photos or videos. Do a contest where people have to submit photos, and at the end of it, you choose who wins, okay? And you can give away something. Maybe you can give away a photography studio session, or you can give away an iPad or something like that, So, or you could do a sweepstakes. You could just do an actual drawing. So out in 30 days at the end of it, you just draw names out of a hat. There's lots of different things you can do, but Contest Domination is awesome because you go in there and actually you create it right in there, and they do all the technical work for you. It's pretty simple to do, and it's an unbelievable way to get getting tons of viral traffic, because what you can do with this Contest Domination is actually when people enter your contest, so you can do a Facebook post talking about it, or you can even run Facebook ads in your local market about your contest, and then when people enter it, they actually get incentivized to share on their Facebook wall and to tweet it out to their friends, their Twitter followers, okay? And all the technical work is done for you by Contest Domination. It's really, really cool. That is a really good way. So just think about something you could give away, or maybe your services to somebody. And in your business, photography, giving away some type of a shoot may be good for you, because you end up getting a lot of people coming to your into your kind of sales process and becoming fans. So think of something creative and run a contest, because that is a great way to build fans, followers, subscribers, and customers. So, like I said, go to fbchecklist.com/contest, and you can find out more. Find out more about me, social media marketing, and everything. You can go to dominatewebmedia.com. All right, talk to you soon.
Awesome, Keith. Thanks for all the insights. Yeah, we have done a couple of different contests on Facebook here at the studio. One was a Petfolio model search a few years ago when we were launching our new pet photography line that we had. And then most recently, actually in November, we did a kids photography contest on Facebook, and we added 400 likes to our Facebook page of potential clients in less than a week. So it does work. Thanks, Keith. We'll see you next time.
Well, I just got back from Phoenix at the Professional Photographers of America National Convention, and it was a little down in numbers, which I was kind of surprised. I think they had 11,500 last year. They had about 7,000 this time.
Yeah.
Great venue, though. Want to shout out to all the photographers that had seen the show. I think we had our first episode up by that point, and
we know why everyone was home, right? They were watching our show.
Oh,
that was the X factor.
Okay, Mr. Sherman. Anyway, I got to do quite a few interviews with some of my favorite people there. One of them was Angela Carson, and we've talked. This being the fourth episode, we've talked. I think 2 out of it'll be 3 out of the 4 episodes about that dreaded question that we get from clients or potential clients about, can I get it on a disc? And I don't think there's anybody that can give a better answer and explanation than Miss Angela Carson. So let's take it away, Angela.
Well, I'm here with one of my favorite people of all time.
I love it.
It's Angela Carson, and she just finished. You've been doing a program almost every day here, haven't you?
Yeah, pretty much 2 a day on Sunday. Yeah, but been a busy girl down at PPA, but learning a lot of stuff and teaching a lot of fun stuff to people and having a good time. It's a great event.
Angela is probably one of the highest paid children's photographers in the country, and her work is amazing. And in fact, I'm going to put some of your work up as we're talking and stuff. But I think she's probably got the best response I've ever heard to somebody that wants things on a disc. We were able to interview you a couple years ago on audio, but can you share pretend I'm the client. Gee, can I get these on a disc?
Well, there's a couple of different things that I believe have to go into that. First of all, I believe that people ask the question about, can I get these images on a disc, because they don't know what else to say. It's kind of like the old question of how much is an 8x10. I think part of it is that question. So I think you do have to find out from people, why do they want the images on a disc? Do they want them just so they can put them on Facebook, or do they really want to just go out and not pay me for my photographs and go and have them all printed? So we're going to ask people a few questions, but quite honestly, when somebody says, can I have all these images on a disc? I would then say to somebody, I believe that a negative or a digital file is just a blueprint of what that image can become when it is handled properly, and through my artistry and my eye, it then becomes an image that I'm proud to put my name on. And myself as an artist, I'm going to determine what the value is of my work. And if I'm willing to give you all these images on a CD, what am I saying that they're worth? I think that's the first part of it. And we also now have kind of a second part when we talk about that. And I don't like to close the door, because the minute you say to somebody, no, you're done. So why don't we talk about it a little bit more? Somebody says to me, geez, do I get the digital files with that? My goal is to create a beautiful portrait for you that you're happy with. Okay, how you get those final images, whether it be in a digital format or a printed format, is totally up to you. We can do that for you, however, it may not be the most economical way for you to get the images. So let's get together and talk about exactly what your needs and wants are.
That's amazing. I love the term blueprint. It's just the blueprint. After you say blueprint, then what do you say again?
It's just a blueprint of what that image can become with my artistry and guidance. Basically, what I'm saying is just because McDonald's buys lettuce and the Capitol Grill buys lettuce from the same purveyor selling lettuce, it's not the same thing. I heard something yesterday that was an Ansel Adams quote that talked about the negative, or in this case, we're talking about the digital file, is the score, and the print is the performance. So anybody can look at a sheet of music, but whether it's played beautifully and moves you, or if it's horrific, all has to do with the finished product. And I think that's a wonderful analogy.
That's amazing. Awesome. Angela, thank you so much.
Oh my God, you're more than welcome. Guys, go out there, make it happen, and do it.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that little interlude with Angela.
I sure did. I got myself another latte too, which was nice.
No, I think the thing that I took away from that is the term that she uses, that blueprint. It's basically just a blueprint for what the finished product or piece of artwork is going to look like. And she's amazing. She's been in business a very long time. She does very well in the Detroit area or Northville, Michigan area, and take it to heart what she said.
Absolutely, and it's like my dad and I were talking while this interview was going on, is really that's the same philosophy we have. I mean, that JPEG that we're going to create, that's a blueprint. That's not the finished product, and it's up to us as photographers to educate the clients that are coming into your studio about that. When they walk into our studio and they see 30 by 40s and 40 by 50s and clusters and all this kind of stuff, displayed large on the wall, instantly they get a sense of these guys are doing something different. And really that's what you have to do, is you have to educate people, show them the difference. You can't just assume that people are going to walk through your door and hand you thousands of dollars for big portraits. It does involve some work, and I think Angela gave some great insights there. All right, we have come to my personal favorite part of the show. I love getting questions from viewers like you. It's
Been
amazing.
getting a ton of them, haven't you?
Do you know after the first show, I went through 350 emails and answered every single one of you? You're welcome. But this one stuck out in my mind. Jennifer from Canton, Massachusetts, which you are going to be getting a t-shirt, Jennifer. I just emailed you today and asked what size it is, so we can send it off to you. She writes, "Hi, Bruce and Josh. Happy New Year." Happy New Year to you, Jennifer. Just finished watching your Photo Entrepreneur TV. I enjoyed it very much. I have a question for you, and I'm hoping that you will have a minute to answer me. Well, I did actually already, but I felt like it was a really good question because we've been talking a lot about this the last few episodes. Bruce, you mentioned you're a BNI member. For those of you that don't, BNI, Business Networking International. I joined our local chapter several months ago. I'm having some success, but not as much as other members, especially the real estate and financial people. My question is for you: what do you find comprises your best contact sphere or power team, as your BNI terms? Our group is currently at 25 and we're looking to grow on a Visitors Day coming up. Also, do you have any recommendations as to the best 30-second presentation which you get to do every time? I realize this is off the topic of photography, but you mentioned BNI and I perked up. Look forward to hearing from you. Take care, Jennifer. Well, my dad attends most of the BNI meetings, so I'm going to throw it to the old man and let him take a stab at it.
Old man. Okay, Junior. It kind of goes back to the first segment. Just showing up is part of it. I think showing up and being enthusiastic, and for me that's like at 8 o'clock in the morning, and the food is really bad. It's at the buffet. What place is that? Old Country Buffet?
Yeah.
Oh my God, worst food.
Well, it's only there because his group's got like 50 people in it. It's the only place big enough. But most people go to the Starbucks around the corner before. And anyway, question is, how do you get the biggest bang for the buck? And there's like 3 questions here, and we don't have time to answer all of them. In fact, we'll probably have a whole segment just on BNI and networking groups coming up. I think so, yeah.
In the next few episodes. But the first thing is, and we talked about this today in BNI, you have to be patient. There's a woman, in fact, the woman I emailed the shot of the kids fishing to, she had mentioned today she had been in BNI since 1996, and our group, I think, for over 10 years, our specific group. And she mentioned that she didn't get any referrals for the first 2 years. Now, of course, she's got high ticket items, right? But there's going to be some professions in there. They're going to get, like my buddy Robert DeLaurente, he's got a florist shop, and he'll probably get 3, 4, 5 referrals every week.
Yeah.
But the higher ticket items aren't going to be as much. So, and I've kind of learned that. But I got to tell you, just going and being enthusiastic. One little secret that I do, and us being photographers and having the visual aids, I try to take a portrait whenever I can to the meetings. And like this morning, I took one of the kids fishing, and that's kind of maximum that will fit in my Porsche, by the way, 24 by 30. And it kind of gives you something to talk about rather than, hey, I'm looking for this. I'll say the image this week is of this, and you can see it's totally different than what most kids' portraits look like. What I'm looking for, our clients are looking for something different and something that I can really capture the essence of their children. And so for us, because we do have so many people, that 60-second kind of elevator speech that most B&Is you're able to give, for us it's 30 seconds, so I got to really condense it down. But just another quick answer to that would be maybe sponsor like an open house or an after hours party. We did that probably within the first 3 weeks of joining BNI, and we had probably 18 or 19 people show up here at the studio. A little bit of wine and beer and appetizers and stuff, but we were able to really break the ice and show them that, hey, we're serious about being a part of this group, right out the gate. So I hope that answered a little bit. Like I said, I would love to get into this a lot deeper, either on the show or with one of our upcoming webinars that we're going to have, and we're still working on the logistics of that, how to sign up and all that. But Jen, I hope that gave you kind of what you're looking for. So we're coming to my favorite part of the show now.
Really?
I like the takeaway. I like to connect the dots, things like that. And what do you think the first one today is, the first takeaway?
Well, you got to get out there and you got to get involved, okay? Jennifer asked a great question about kind of BNI and how to get the most bang for your buck. If you're going to a chamber event, if you're in a networking group like BNI, or you're a Rotary or Kiwanis member, you got to get involved, bottom line. And I hate to say it, but photographers are a dime a dozen nowadays, guys and girls, okay?
Ouch.
Everybody and their brother thinks they're a photographer, okay? The general public, like people in BNI, like they were saying that they had gone through how many photographers?
Quite a few.
And,
Quite a few.
and some weeks they don't show up, and then they never come back. And so you got to legitimize yourself a little bit. Why should the financial planner who's dealing with $1 million accounts refer people to you if you've only been in BNI for maybe 2-3 months and you haven't referred anybody yet? Or I hate to say it, but you got to legitimize yourself a little bit. Jump through the hoops, do that kind of stuff. But just get involved in being there. Like when we do the open houses and stuff, people come, they go, wow, you have an actual studio, and oh my gosh, the work's amazing. That's when things started to kind of gain some traction for us. So that's definitely one takeaway for me. How about you?
Well, along the same, I hate to keep going back to BNI, but one thing that I found out that this particular group likes to do is party, and found that out the first time we had that here. And then I went to the Christmas party, and I'm going, wow, these guys do like to party and they like to socialize. And so this year when the leadership changed, I asked the president if I could be part of the social committee kind of thing, kind of heading up the parties. And so once again, I'm kind of now in the middle of all that, helping plan parties. And before myself and another member, Brooke from Daisy Cleaning Service, we decided to do this together. And before we took over, they basically just had the Christmas party and the softball kind of picnic kind of thing.
Summer picnic thing, yeah.
So we decided to do one every other month. So once again, that kind of puts me out there in front of the group in planning these things. We're also able to kind of show maybe the capacity of what I can do, like for this Valentine's Day party that's coming up. It's going to be wine tasting and all that kind of good stuff. I decided to create custom invitations from Marathon Press, and I think it was last episode we talked about variable data
Yeah.
technology. So these are custom with the members of BNI in the body of the text of the invitation. Now, they haven't gotten these yet, but when they get them, they're going to go, whoa. So once again, that kind of shows that we're not your typical BNI photographer that's out there. I mean, we're kind of a step above that. And because of that, people are going to believe in you, and they are going to give you referrals.
Exactly. And a couple other takeaways. That's going to lead to more commercial business. Kind of what we said, we really go after commercial this time of year. If you've never really done commercial, I suggest you try it. If you have clients that are doctors, dentists, lawyers, contact them and say, hey, when's the last time you updated your headshot? Or hey, should we do some shots of your staff for your website? You know, start beating the brush a little bit. Also, I loved Angela's interview, the blueprint idea of that JPEG. It's not the finished product. And most photographers that are giving away in a disc, it's, you know, that's not the finished product. It needs to be on the wall or in an album or something. I also loved Keith, the Facebook contest. They have worked for us in the past. You got time right now. Do a contest, a kids photo contest, pet contest, something. Get out there. And yeah, I think that's it for me.
All right. So once again, hope you enjoyed the show, and go Seahawks.
Go Seahawks. This will actually be the last episode that we do before the Super Bowl.
Before they win the Super Bowl.
Before they win the Super Bowl. And yeah, and I think what I'm most excited about is the fact that I can continue to push our Seahawks Pride sessions that they're still in the playoffs. I was kind of worried about that if they were going to lose. I'm like, crap, here's all this potential revenue from these sessions. People aren't going to want to do it, but since we're in the Super Bowl, the excitement's elevated, so more and more people are looking to do those sessions. So thanks again for being part of Photo Entrepreneur TV, the place where serious photographic entrepreneurs learn to profit from their passion.
See ya.